In-game live on SportsGrid on a Wednesday night. It is great to be with all of you, Kevin Walsh and Gabriel Morency, for call it what it is, maybe not the greatest slate in the history of Major League Baseball, WNBA. I think we're both excited for NFL tomorrow, but almost to combat the slate, but also accept it for what it is. I don't do this a lot. I'm betting the Yankees largely because I want to get in the mix with the New York Yankees tonight. They're playing much better baseball than Seattle. But like yesterday, I thought you were in a better spot at a better number. Great pick by Gabe. He was on it. I'm not here telling you, Will Warren should be a bigger favorite than Ryan Weathers was necessarily. That's not the point. The point is, Gabe, I'm not letting the Yankees pass me by right now against the Mariner team that's got Cal Raleigh hitting the podium being like, yeah, we're playing awful baseball. We've been playing awful baseball. It's kind of all my fault we're playing awful baseball. Nothing's going well. I'm just going to step up here and get New York at an accessible price.
Yeah, you know what? I can't argue against it. I did take the Yankees last night. I think one of the reasons why I didn't automatically do it again tonight is because they came back late, right? It wasn't as if though it was a smooth. The final score wasn't really a true indication of how the ball game went last night. And I somewhat do respect Seattle, but I often talk about the attitude in the clubhouse, guys. I'm telling you, I've been around Major League Baseball teams, like the one, I've covered a few professional leagues and stuff, but football is once a week, whatever, dude. Like their moods, it's not the same. 162 days basically in a row. It's a grind, and Seattle are not in a good mental spot right now, as you see. And, the Yankees have been pretty short-priced all week. Let's call it out for what it is, right? Here we go once again. Minus 133 tonight. I kind of felt that way about the Braves, but the 70 cents was enough to scare me away. But you know what? You know where I'm going, Kevin. I don't know. It's almost like too easy. Taking the Toronto Blue Jays tonight. That's our early baseball pick tonight. 9-4 in their last 13. Let me repeat that. 9-4 in their last 13. Kind of a quiet 9-4 in their last 13. You have Soriano making his Toronto debut tonight. Of course, they picked him up, started on the road. Now it's his first start at home. And this might come as a surprise to some people, but Jose Soriano induced 18 swings and misses in his first Blue Jays start. His 31.6% whiff rate this season ranks second in the American League, trailing only Dylan Cease. Soriano's better than people realize, right? You're on a bad baseball team. Now he's not. Look at Lauer. And I'm the full, you know what? I remember, you guys know, when Lauer's on the hill here tonight, Lauer's ERA when he was on the Jays was 6.7 whatever. He's got it down to 3.72 now with the Dodgers. It's amazing how like a change of scenery and going from a different team, pitching coach or whatnot can change things. Mm-hmm. But we're getting plus 119 with the Red Sox. Struggling the way that they are right now. Toronto are feeling it. You can say, they're not going to win again, are they? Baseball's a streaky sport. We've been waiting for the Blue Jays to get hot. They've been hot right now.
Yeah, I agree with that. Here's what I will say on Jose Soriano. He is one of the most, I'm trying to come up with the comparison, where it's, look, that's some of the best stuff you've got. This guy's getting absolutely smashed. Yeah, erratic's the right word, Gabe. Where sometimes it's great, sometimes it's bad. And he'll have very good starts as a Blue Jay. Very, very good starts. He will have bad ones. But I'm not fading Soriano straight up. I feel like a lot of times when one of us say a baseball line looks confusing, and that usually goes that way. The over-under 7 here? God, did someone tell him, hey, Cease, it's actually Cease still pitching? This is a crazy number. I'm on this over. It's the one game I'm like super excited about betting tonight here, Gabe. Again, look, sometimes this stuff, will come around and smash you. The story for Boston during this little losing streaks, the offense has stopped hitting. And maybe that's why this total is a 7. I don't think the Red Sox will never hit again. And I do think Toronto had, and Gabe's been talking about this team, can they pull it together? I thought one of the better moments for this team where it looked like Vlad Jr. was finally going to get this big hit, right? It wasn't a home run, but it was going to put him in front, and he gets nailed at second. And instead of up 4-3, it's 3-3. And in the very next half inning, they took that lead. And in that moment, okay, well, Boston's not winning tonight. Maybe Toronto has something here. I'm not stepping up here with a Red Sox team total. I think this 7 is a full run light, which Gabe, in baseball is like a big deal. So I'm on the over in Toronto-Boston tonight. Pretty excited about that one.
And it is a low total. It really is a low number. But with that being stated, I just want to say something about Toronto in that, yeah, they're 9-4 in their last 13 games, but they're not tearing the cover off the baseball right now, right? So that's the thing. Like when people watch the Jays, it's not like, Vlad can't really get it going. And they won the other night, and it was a crazy stat that the Jays, it's crazy that it's 10 is the number only. But the Jays have won 10 games this year, scoring 2 runs or less. It's the most in Major League Baseball, right? Like they've been finding a way. Like there's a lot of hockey scores with the Blue Jays recently, right? Where it's like, yeah, it wasn't pretty, but somehow we won 3-2. Like we won 2-1.
Yeah.
I really do think it sounds crazy, but that 15-minute delay and that whole 2-out fiasco the other night as well. It's almost, you know what I mean, Kevin? Like, when there's certain games, like you go 18 innings or it's going on forever. It's like, yeah, this is devastating for the losing team. Like, we got to win this game now because it murdered our staff moving forward and our bullpen. And like, there's certain like turning point or sort of like situations. Weird play. Jays don't know the outs. Boston gets the run. They make it 2-1. Jays, like, Boston had runners on first and third, this and that. And somehow the Jays hung on and won. Like I said, they're just sort of like they're starting to win these games now that they weren't a month ago, right? They were losing. You and I talked about it, the 1-run losses that they were losing by 1 all the time. Suddenly they're winning by run, by a lot, right? And, dude, look at it. They've had pitchers. Yesterday their pitcher came out of the game, bro, and in the 4th inning got hurt. And they still win the game. Like, they faced a lot of adversity, and they're finding ways. Like, they're grinding. Like I said, they're not super hot. They're 9-4 in their last 13. There's a bunch of teams ahead of them. The Tigers are one of them, the Guardians, etc. But a lot of those teams are struggling as well that are ahead of them. Like, the Jays are right in this thing, guys.
The thing that works for Toronto is they did catch Boston at the right time. If they played Boston a week ago, they'd have got swept in this series. I don't think that's unfair to say. But Boston hit their wall against the A's, and the Jays have been here to pick up the pieces.
The Jays peaking at the right time. You know what I mean? Like, if they start, like, chunking wins up as we go into September.
They're playing better. I'm not going to deny that. I still
am
hesitant.
25 and 16. Basically, I'm still throw it out there. 83, 84, as bad as it is, that's kind of the target score here. That let's call it the Elam ending, Kevin. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean that would be incredible though, Gabe. Like they're 5 under. They're 5 under 500. Yeah. Like that's why I'm always hesitant when we have these Jays conversations.
They need to go. Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Their record doesn't matter. The standings are what matters.
Right. But I hear you, but they're behind teams. I know not narrowly, but they're behind teams who also have bad records. And the reason we think Toronto can jump these teams is those teams have bad records, right?
But I think Toronto are better than the teams. And I think a lot of those teams have sort of gone up and down. Toronto have never gone on their streak yet, right? They've never gone on the run yet. Like, if you ask me personally, I think the Blue Jays are better than the Orioles. They're tied coming into tonight. I think the Blue Jays will surpass the Orioles, and the Orioles will fade, and they won't be in the Blue Jays' way. The Minnesota Twins, I think the Twins are going to win at the pace the Blue Jays win at for the rest of the season. I think the Blue Jays can pass the Twins. So then you start to get into reality here. The Texas Rangers, Detroit Tigers, right? One of those type of teams. And I'm not talking about the Red Sox. Red Sox still have a 4.5 game lead in the wild card right now. Yankees have a 7.5 game lead.
Yeah,
but Texas only have a half game
danger.
So, who are the real contenders? I would say Toronto, Texas, and Detroit.
We'll get right back to it, guys.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great, sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Ohtani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Okay, guys, back with you right here on SportsGrid. Following along a baseball board that's pretty active right now. Some of those early games have finished up. Some of them are we may have an opportunity to do something that Gabe and I have done before, which is bet some extra inning baseball, or the Padres will stay red hot and get a fifth win in a row. We'll see if they walk it off here in the bottom of the ninth against the Milwaukee Brewers. They were down in this game 2-0. They've pulled it back to 2-2. But we're going to maybe get some extra inning baseball here, Gabe, in a series that, you know, could have sent San Diego in a different direction. Instead, they've made a little bit of a statement here against the Milwaukee Brewers.
They have. This is another team that people sort of wrote off and forgot about. I brought it up before the trade deadline. I said they're not going to sell. Every year, these baseball insiders are wrong about San Diego. It's pretty clear you guys don't have any insight to what they do, okay? So, and everyone always thinks they're going to sell, they're going to blow things up. Oh, the owner died. They're not going to have the same payroll and stuff. They always just add players. And they were another team that is super underachieved. They had a lot of big-time players that didn't produce for a big part of the season. Yet, once again, you know, if you're San Diego, you don't really look at your record. It's sort of like golf, Kevin. You know what I mean? You're not looking at the score. You know, golfers aren't looking at the leaderboard. You're playing the hole. You're playing yourself. You're playing the hole, right? And you can't worry about what other teams are doing. All you can do is, like, you know, I have 18 holes left, or I got, let's say, 36 holes. I think in comparison now with baseball, we got 2 rounds of golf left. Let's say it's like more, you know what I mean? I think, you know, we got a Saturday and Sunday left. I got 36 holes. Yeah. You know, John Rahm is 7 ahead of me, and I got 8 guys ahead of me or whatever, when I'm 4 under and stuff. But if I just go up there and birdie every hole, when it's all said and done, I'm going to pass them, right? And it's the same thing. Win each series, Kevin. That's how managers just got and teams approach this thing. You're not going to, it's not like, you know what I mean? It's sort of like betting. You're not going to get like, oh, I'm going to win 9 bets in a row. I'm going to get everything back after a bad like month or something like that. It's like, no, you just like start winning more than you're losing. Right? 2-1s add up, man. 2-1 is 66%, guys. Doesn't sound like a lot. Well, they won another series. Yeah, they took 2 or 3, huh? Yeah, and it's like, yeah, well, you know, it's 66%. Starts to add up, Kevin. You know, before you know it. Like I said, I don't score. I'm not standings watching yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, the Blue Jays, like, to me, I'm not. If you're the Blue Jays, I would tell them, I don't care what the Orioles are doing. Don't worry about the Orioles. They'll implode. Like, yeah, you're worried about what the Minnesota Twins are going to do? Worry about the Twins. Let's worry about ourselves. Win each series that we play in, and you'll make the playoffs. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, it is as simple as that. It's easier said than done. I do like this is I cannot help it every time we have this conversation to be like the guy who goes, yes, but they have played under 500 baseball all season long. Like that's who they have been. They've been above 500.
Yeah, but didn't the Carolina Panthers win like the division, being a sub 500 team last year?
Yes.
Record doesn't count. It's what the standings
do. What a
do.
fall from grace.
The standings.
By the way, you in this segment just said, guys, I'm not even looking at the standings, which is why this has been incredible to watch. It's been incredible. This Blue Jay stuff has just been, and the best part is Toronto. Again,
you know what though?
An enigma. Yeah. They sold and bought at the deadline, so you had to keep one foot in the pool. You had
that was another thing too. When they sold, Gossman was out and Varsho, right? You're right. It's like, oh no, they're blowing things up. It's like, well, and then they turn around and bring Soriano in. It's like they're not really blowing things up. They just sort of adjusted contractually a little bit here. But all we can do in this world, we can have our hot takes, can put our money where our mouths are. Right?
Here's what I will say.
I'm betting them to make the playoffs. Simple as that.
What's
I'm
the
betting.
number?
I didn't put the bet in.
But do you have an idea what the number is?
It wasn't as high as you'd think. It was like plus 200 range.
I got a plus 570 in front of me.
Plus 570 right now? An update right now.
570.
Where's that at?
Yeah. FanDuel. Listen, I'll be honest. I'll get a real
plus 800.
I'll get a real kick out of you getting like a 2-1 because you're in
Canada. No. You know what? It was like plus.
I
think it might have been 11-1 actually a couple of weeks ago when I didn't do it.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what though? I'm looking right now. I don't have it. That's why I don't see it. They pull it.
They probably locked it. Yeah, with the game.
They lock it because the games are going on, right? The score, like it'll be posted up in the morning. They don't even like doing it overnight because that's when sportsbooks get beat overnight, right? They post stuff. They're sleeping. People bet big on the futures, but so we got plus 550, plus 600 right now, plus 500 in that range. I will take it. And instead of just sitting here every night telling everybody, I'll just be gloating, Kevin, in 6 weeks saying, I told you the Blue Jays are going to make it.
Here is the fascinating thing for Toronto. They're finishing up this 4-game Boston set, so they play today and tomorrow. They then host the Yankees for 3. They then go to Tampa for 3 and go to the Yankees for 3 more. Now, in most instances, I would say, see, Gabe, look at the schedule, too hard.
Yeah.
I am aware they don't mind playing the AL East. It's hard. That's a fact. It is.
They're not intimidated by the
Yankees.
Run. They are not intimidated by the Yankees.
Or the Rays or the Red Sox. They are comfortable playing American League. Again, it doesn't mean they're going to win.
The Rays are the ones that give them the biggest problems of those 3.
They are going to be dogs, though, Gabe, as much as, yes, the playoff ticket's nice, you should really do what you keep doing, and I know you will, is betting the Blue Jays almost every single night.
That's almost the thing in which I thought about that the other day with the odds. I was like, well, I'm just betting them every day anyways, right? And we keep on hitting with them. But I still would like to get a piece of that when they repost this for me in the morning. Put it this way. I think they're going to be playing. They're going to be right there in September, right? They're going to be playing meaningful baseball. They played themselves back in this thing, and I have confidence that a lot of these other teams will fall apart along the way. Now, but as I stated, you got Texas are there. I'm not going to dismiss the Texas Rangers. That's not going to be easy, but it is interesting, right? And listen, man, the Yankees are going to be up against it too, Kevin. There's still a lot of baseball left. This is like I said, it's like a horse race, and we're not down the final turn yet. And anyone who knows horse racing, it knows the horse that is leading most of the race never wins the race. It's the other horses that come from behind.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great, sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Ohtani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey,
It's on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is. It is totally on him now and the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
All right, guys, back with you right here on SportsGrid. Again, plenty of baseball live right now. Milwaukee and San Diego is something I want to keep our eyes on with the extra innings. I can't help but bring up, we were kind of on the, I don't know if ground floor is the right word, because people have been talking about Skeens and his struggles for a little bit, but we were almost like first to the explosion, if you will, in him getting pulled at 65 pitches, and people are now like, what is going on? And I caught a little bit of the Paul Skeens post, game press conference. They met him in his locker room, and there was one reporter, she must have worked for the team where all the questions are more like softball positivity. But one guy snuck in hey, were you surprised to get pulled at 65 pitches? Which Skeens said, no, not really. I probably would have pulled myself too. The manager spoke to me and it made sense. I wish I went more. It is what it is. Now, again, if you watch the video, it's hilarious.
Remember last night I told you live,
you see
I
the
said
video,
they were protecting him from himself.
Gabe, the video is followed up with the reporter going, Paul, one of your most efficient starts of the year. What was working for you? What do you mean what was working for him? What do you mean what was working? It was driving me nuts. But yeah, this Paul Skeens stuff has now kind of broken containment a little bit here. Does he make his next start? Right? I think we're on Paul Skeens' watch now in a very big way, in my opinion, Gabe.
One thing, becomes uncomfortable, though, is a lot of non-pitching experts like us start discussing what's his problem. And I'm seeing, I see a story here right now about his horizontal release, right? About his release point and all this stuff. But, if Sports Illustrated writers know this, then you don't think that the Pittsburgh Pirates pitching staff sees these different things as well, right? So I don't know. I mean, clearly there's a velocity issue. I think the weight issue could be a problem, that he's too bulked up. His release seems slower to me. It's funny because I said that yesterday, and I didn't point out the release point, but it just seems to be just sort of more, just a sort of a step slower, right? Just the whole process and the release of the ball and everything. I think hitters just sort of, they're not fearing him. They're just sort of They're digging in a little bit more as opposed to like scared, like I might get hit in the face with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. I think like the fear factor is gone, right? So that's a big thing. Look, I don't think people realize that. Like professional baseball players can hit a baseball, but they're human beings. And I don't care who you are. If Miz throws a ball 104 miles an hour from 60 feet away, you got a problem. Like, right? So you're kind of at the mercy. And some of these pitchers scare people. Right? The tall dudes. These guys are massive. We talked about it the other day. Big, tall dude. He's on the hill. He's elevated. And you're like, dear God, this guy throws 100 miles an hour every pitch, and he doesn't even know where it's going sometimes. Right? and it gets into batters' minds. They don't dig in as much. I think batters are sort of digging in right now with Skeens. You know what I mean? They're like, he can't top 95 anyways. Right? So they're not scared of him.
But this is one of the things that I was curious about because he said, Gabe, the manager laid it out for me and it made sense. And he could have said to him, you were going to give up a 2-run homer, but Brian Reynolds robbed it. So honestly, you're pitching like garbage, which would have been valid. He could have said to him, though, your velocity is in shambles. I'm not sending you back out there. Now, again, I didn't hear that expanded on because, again, it was like, hey, Paul, like, pretty efficient outing when you look up the numbers. I was starting to get real angry at the phone.
If you were anybody else, it would be, right? That was this whole thing. Anyone else would be like, hey, good job, right? You won 5. They got you out of there. They protected you for the 3rd time around the order.
Anyone else would have got sent back out, to your point,
except
Gabe,
it's
right?
Paul Skeens. Except it's Paul Skeens.
Yeah.
And just
so
for the
record, at it
differently. His next start is Saturday against the Boston Red Sox.
Ooh.
These Boston Red Sox. They go to Pittsburgh after this.
Wow. Interesting. Oh, yeah, I don't know if he makes
Who have been smoking hot, right? But the offense is slowed down for the Sox right now.
By the way, just before we get caught in this break here, Gabe, I'm going to try something we did the other day with the Brewers money line at plus 350, where we're going to the bottom of the 10th.
If it goes back and forth, you get the plus on both sides. There you go.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great, sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Ohtani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey,
It's on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is totally on him now and the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
All right, guys, it's in-game live on SportsGrid. I jumped on the Brewers, okay? They have to get out of this opening inning here. There's one out, runners on first and second. Rengifo's at the plate. If you can do a job here, you know, all of a sudden we've talked about the way those numbers move, and this would move quite a lot if this ends up being a game that gets back to the 11th inning. We've seen this before here on the show game.
Yep.
So at plus 350, I took a shot.
I don't hate that at all. That's just straight aggregate betting, in which is betting the numbers. We see this. It's that famous Cleveland Guardian. I think it was the Twins and the Guardians when me and Kevin were on. Yeah. It went like 12 innings, and both teams were like plus 400 and plus 500 multiple times. Right? Like, neither would score. It'd be like second and third, whatever. It's like, all right. Oh, wow, you're getting plus 500. If you get out of this, suddenly it's going to go back to a pick 'em. And it did, like, over and over and over again. So I don't dislike that bet at all. I will bring up right now that Okamoto was back in the Blue Jays lineup tonight and just got a double, a one-out double. We got a scoreless game right now. Last year, Andres Jimenez was like one of their best players. All right, the guy's like a multiple Gold Glove winner. Great acquisition from Cleveland a couple of years ago by the Jays. And he never had power, Kevin, this guy. I think he had like 9 home runs or something. And suddenly, like last year, it was almost like Tommy Edman-like. You know what I mean? It was like, yeah, Jimenez is up, and he's going to crush a double into the gap, man. Like, it was just like Mr. Clutch, big hits. This year, he's sort of back to what they thought he was going to be. Yeah, he's really good defensively, and he hits 239 with not a lot of power, right? So, it's sort of right back. Can he sort of get this thing going right now? Like, if they could just sort of start to get those big hits from guys that came through for them last year, right? It could just sort of keep this thing going. But Okamoto's been a good acquisition for them, Kevin. Like, these Japanese guys really have had a high success rate in Major League Baseball, man. Let's call it out for what it is. They're like LSU wide receivers.
Tommy Edman.
Look at the dude in the White Sox, lighting it up.
Oh, yeah, Murakami. No, I was just going to say, Gabe, you know, I got
Okamoto, same thing. Okamoto was the quickest to home runs, like, for any Japanese player ever, even Ohtani. He was the quickest to 25 or whatever. Like, he's been good, too. Like, you know, he's a power guy, but the Japanese guys have been good.
Brewers, minus 110. They get out of the inning.
Just like that. They got out of the inning.
Get out of the inning. So, I mean, look, I'll probably leave it. I certainly could. I remember this. Oh, man, this is a good little quick story. Again, you know, when I first started doing a lot of this stuff, right? You know, in-game betting, right? It was, you know, you see a plus 160, right? And then game flips around, you get another plus 160. I'm like, oh, see, plus money both sides, that works out. And I remember I was doing an in-game live with Gabe. He goes, yes, if you're betting $1,000, you've been $25. There's not like, we're not celebrating over $3.
That's the whole thing, you know, but if you want to scalp it, but the thing is, I never unit shame, number one, and boom. Ernie.
Jays open it up.
Ernie Clement.
Beautiful.
There's Ernie.
Good.
Blue Jays up 1-0. 1-0.
Good.
1-0 drama right now.
That's what we want.
This team is sort of chipping away. There's sort of chipping away.
Put runs on
right
the board. Put runs on the board. But yeah, Gabe, it's just, listen, at a plus 350 down to a minus 110, if it was a monstrous bet, certainly could lay some off. But instead, right now, I'm also going to do, this isn't, but Teddy Covers offers the other side. I remember one time we were doing a show. He goes, you have a plus 350, it's down to minus 110. That's a great bet. Your bet should win. Just hope you win your bet. You know, so there's a few ways that you can approach it here.
And so I was going to say, too, about the unit shame, like, nothing wrong with it if you do it every day. Right? If you're that guy, it's like, yeah, listen, I bet $10 on these plus 500s on both sides, and I walk away with my, you know, $12 profit, and I move on to the next one. Because you're not even risking. That you are investing. You're buying a stock. You're not even sports betting. Right? You're buying a plus 350 and a plus 125. Years ago, the classic series was our boy Mark Lawrence, who's not on the air as much. We'd love to get him on. He's been around a long time. He's getting a little older now. But Mark Lawrence in the playbook, you know, great gambler. And it was the famous Cleveland Golden State series, Kevin, in which we had him on, and every day the other team would win, he'd take the other team. You know what I mean? They came back from 3-1, remember? Right? So whoever the underdog was, we said, who do you like, Mark, in the NBA Finals? Well, guys, I don't really like anybody. I like the plus money. And he basically said, because it was basically a pick 'em going in. Yeah. He goes, yeah, I took the Cavaliers at plus money, and now I took the Warriors at plus money. And, dude, I remember, through the series, he had, 12 bets, Kevin, at the end. And every single one of them was plus 135, plus 325, plus this, plus that, plus that. He couldn't lose. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was he just had a bunch of stocks on the table. It was they're not all going to hit, but you're going to come out big either way because they're all plus money. So it's not a bad way to approach it. And if you think about it, you do it $100, imagine $500. But those are the type of guys that do get banned from sports books. When people say when people say, you think, how come I'm not, I don't get banned. You pick winners. They don't really care if you pick winners because they know you won't always pick winners. They do care if they see, oh, dear God, you got a bankroll of $250,000 and you're dropping 5 dimes on both sides of games at plus money. We can't do that.
For example,
then we're
Gary
just getting
Sanchez,
beat.
Gabe, leadoff double. The Padres are now plus 330.
Boom.
So if you want, again,
there you go.
depending on you're done.
It's a big swing, though. That's not even a little hedging. Those are big numbers.
Yes.
Plus 350s.
It didn't take a ton to get there. There are times.
No, all you got to do is, you know what it is, Kevin? It's the damn Ghost Runner. Because those numbers would not be that way.
Correct.
Right? There's a runner on second with nobody out. Right? If there's if there was there's no runner on second, it'd be plus 150. Right? It'd be plus 150. I know. I remember the old days. You're not getting plus 350 because you're going extra innings on one team.
But let's be honest, Gabe. We're not talking or betting this game right now without the Ghost Runner. I think the Ghost Runner is fantastic for betting. It's really fun. It adds a lot of strategy into this stuff.
And it really is advantageous for bettors. We were talking about exposing it like this.
Yeah. So, it's I find myself when we're off air, if I'm betting live baseball, it's mostly because I have an extra innings game on. I'm all right, let's see what we want to do with it here.
Yeah.
That kind of feels like it's just I know people don't like the Ghost Runner traditionalists. I hear the argument, but it's a very enjoyable product. Major League Baseball extra innings is a very, very, very enjoyable product.
I don't like it, but at the same point in time, I don't hate it. In the sense that it is entertaining.
Yeah.
Right? In the same way that I don't like NHL shootouts in the regular season. I don't like the process of deciding games like this, but it is entertaining. So it's one of those. And the fact is, it wanted to get them out of there quicker. Right? That's why the players agreed to that one. The players don't like a lot of the changes, but basically you think about it, it is a job to them. So you're telling them, listen, you're going to work quicker now. You're going to get out of there. You won't be there for 6 hours in one of these 23-inning games. But I do find it kind of comical sometimes how bad these teams are. They can't score even with a runner on second still. Very few of them do the bunt over, Kevin. To me, the home team should be mandatory. If you're on the road and you're batting first and you're not going to play for the run. I'm not going to play just and bunt over and get them run up because they got a runner on second after anyways. But, Kevin, if I'm the damn home team and I got through it and you didn't score, you're damn right I'm doing it. You're damn right. I got a guy on second. I'm going to get you to third. I'm going to tell the next jackass, if you don't sacrifice fly this guy home, you're not playing tomorrow, okay? I'll bench you tomorrow. I'd be old school. Hey, Billy, you don't get this to the outfield, you're not in lineup tomorrow, by the way, right? Just point blank. Not asking for a Babe Ruth home run, you know what I mean? Will Smith is the best. He just lines it to center field and the game's over.
For me, Ohtani is the MVP, even if he pitches 15 games a year and that's it. The guy's the best hitter in baseball, or one of them, and pitches, even if it's 15 games a year and he's great. Sign me up. I think he still wins, but I think I like the other investments there.
Yeah, I would say we're in total agreement on this. Ohtani's going to win the award, but that doesn't mean that A, he's a good investment at this point, and B, another player isn't a good investment.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
What Michigan have to play versus Penn State is insane. Like, instead of Big Ten teams worrying about SEC and all that, like, Michigan fans should not be happy about what Matt Campbell gets to walk into. James Franklin's got to be kicking himself. Penn State do not play Oregon, Indiana, or Ohio State. They avoided the entire Big Three of the it's incredible.
In-game live, only on SportsGrid.
You know, the dark days are ahead for the Warriors. And when Curry and Kerr and Draymond all leave, what are we going to be looking at that franchise that has been a mainstay of the NBA, you know, the face of the NBA and NBA playoffs for so long? Where are they going to be? So I see no issue with them bringing Draymond back. Why not? You have one last go at things with the trio that they still have there. But I see this as a very long season.
Game time decisions, only on SportsGrid.
Just can't win the big game. He can't get us in the big game. Well, we got to let him go now because we're tired. We'll keep the quarterback. So, you know what I've been saying? Okay, you kept the quarterback. Guess what? Mr. Lamar Jackson, it's on you now.
Hey, absolutely.
It's on you.
Absolutely.
Right? It's on Lamar.
It is. It is totally on him now and the new coaching staff there.
Outspoken with Dan Cilio, only on SportsGrid.
Okay, guys, back to the right here on SportsGrid. Shout out Ryan McMahon, first day running the bases. So he's out at third. Yankees did pull one back.
Oh, yeah, 3-1 now.
Seattle, but they could have had more, but Ryan McMahon had no interest in running the bases like a normal person. So there's that. Scoring's open in Toronto, Boston, as we mentioned. But let's stick in Toronto and head over to the WNBA. I know we're going to follow the extras. However, I want it on. Listen, I feel, been very selective on when we say the tempo are getting too many points. I think that is the case tonight. The Dallas Wings are playing awful basketball. AZ Fudd is out. And for the first time this season, so is Jessica Shepard, who's had an incredible year, 4 triple-doubles on the season, 20 double-doubles on the season, averaging a double-double. I think Paige will be great. I don't think the Wings right now are playing at the level or have the depth to take advantage of the tempo, having a tempo game. Now, yes, this game could be a 1-point game at half, and I'll feel the same as if it was a 15-point game at half. But I took the 9 and a hook here tonight, Gabe, with Toronto.
Well, I'm sure once the NFL and college football season starts, me and Kevin will argue about things. We've already argued about Mendoza, who we'll see tomorrow.
Can't wait.
Yeah, the debates and arguments will happen, but not here, and it's true. So there's no Fudd, there's no Shepard tonight. Dallas have been a train wreck as of late. And one thing about the Toronto tempo, they don't quit in these games. They covered the last game against Atlanta. They were down big. They don't stop playing. You got Kiki Rice back. She's actually playing more right now again. So something, seems to be clicking a little bit there. One concern is Mabry was really good the last game. And we all know how this goes with her, right? So she's so up and down, and she's so consistent about it as well. Mm-hmm. It's not like, you don't know what you're going to get from her. It's like, no, you kind of do. She goes off one game, and then she has 1 or 2 bad games. She goes off another time, and then she has another bad game. And she rarely strings these multiple great games together, as the season has gone on. But the tempo have covered 2 of their last 3 games, Kevin. We've seen them play. One thing with the tempo, if you're laying 9.5 points against them, bro, we know the tempo can score, Kevin. It's not pretty, but they take so many damn shots, right? They do score. So you got to score points to cover the number against them. And I kind of like them, and I didn't realize Fudd was out at first. I'm like, man, Shepard's out. And I'm like, Toronto was still like competing. Like they don't have their heads down. Like you see the girls are still smiling and happy and stuff. Like it's, they get it. They're an expansion team. But 9.5 is a little pricey. I agree with you. And there's no way in hell we can bet the under of a game. I mean, how the hell do we, how do we take the under, Kevin? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I knew that wasn't an option. I was curious if there was a chance
They're
you'd be on the
14-2
tempo.
now. They're 14-2 now to the over on the road. They're an over machine on the road, the Toronto Tempo. They're 20-10 to the season to the over. They're
14-2 to the over on the road?
Yes. Yeah. Here, I'll get you just to confirm. To confirm it, but yes.
No, I mean, I know you've mentioned it before, but I don't know if it's ever stood out as much as I know it hasn't stood out as much as it is in this moment. 14-2 is insane, guys.
Yeah, so here it is. So the Toronto Tempo are now the number one over team in the WNBA, 21-11, 65.6% of their games. As a road team, the Toronto Tempo, I stand corrected, 13-2.
I mean, still outrageous.
13-2. How about this, Kevin? The New York Liberty, 15-2 to the over on the road.
Whoa!
15-2 to the over in 17 road games. Toronto Tempo, 13-2. Imagine that, 86.7% Toronto Tempo road games have gone over the number.
Yeah. Wow. That Liberty number's jarring, isn't it? We've seen kind of those Liberty totals. By the way, they got drilled last night by the Fever. Like, speaking of drilled, this guy Will Warren's got nothing right now. It's like his first game pitching in the Bronx. He's given up 3 home runs all to the left side.
Wow. My gut instinct about staying away from the Yankees tonight was correct. Listen, we won last night, Kevin, but, the Yankees scored a bunch of late runs. Seattle were kind of due to break out. I didn't trust Warren tonight, but, now we got a 4-1 game. Mariners still only minus 360. They're already like the Yankees are down by 3, and you're only getting plus 260 right now. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, it makes me think no reason to bet the Yankees. Like, I'm not getting a good number of the Yankees at 3-1.
No, well, plus 260, not really, but it also says that the computer doesn't think the Yankees are done. I mean, it says
the over 3 runs. An interesting play a little bit. Or maybe it actually says when Will Warren gets out of here, Seattle stops scoring.
Yeah, up to 11.5 now. Wow. Maybe this is one of these games Seattle break out of their offensive doldrums. You know what I mean? They put up a bunch of runs tonight. Yeah. For the record, the Mets are now down 1-0 as well. So both New York baseball teams losing.
Where have we seen that movie before? I do think this Tyler Mahle, addition to Atlanta is going to be interesting.
He was good in his debut.
Yeah, really good for them. Like it's not a 1-to-1, but in the way you talk about Lauer going to the Dodgers, like, does this guy show up and all of a sudden? Yeah. Like, no, you have to bet Mahle when he's going for Atlanta here.
Well, that's the thing. Anthopoulos got defensive about it. I happened to see an interview with Alex Anthopoulos, who I know from the old Expos days, so that's why I sort of watched it. And I guess he knew the reporter pretty well because the reporter was pretty aggressive with him and kind of like buddies. Hey, Alex, what about this? And, the fans aren't happy. And, like, Alex was kind of like, I don't understand your question. Like, Alex got ripped for it because people are like, it was a pretty straightforward question. Like, and he was like, what do you mean? Like, and then Alex went off about, well, you might not like Tyler Mahle. And Tyler Mahle's numbers might not have been great with the Reds, but he's not on the Reds anymore. He's on the Braves now. Like, he basically went down that road. Like,
All right, big spot here for this Brewers-Padres bet. Now, again, the funny thing is, with runners on the corner, 1 out, like, it's interesting, Gabe, right? Like, you play for the double play, right? Like, if you give up the run, it's not the worst thing in the world because you're going to come right back up. You're going to have a man on second. You're like, we get the double play, the game's over. It is what it is. That's what I'm thinking here, at least, for Milwaukee and San Diego. What are you taking a look at? I feel like you're eyeing something up over there.
First and
your
third.
Vlad Jr. home run bet?
Nah,
No,
I didn't get in, so I was almost hoping he didn't hit it. But I got the live video feed going on here. There's only 1 out in first and third right now. Beautiful sunny day in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Lot of drama left, but
I don't like the Centinela is like one of the old Rockies trash cans. That doesn't inspire a lot of confidence.
That's what I'm saying, though. We go to, like, the Ghost Runner. We're still in the damn 11th inning right now. Like, you know what I mean? That's the whole thing. Like, it's still not easy for them.
No,
that's
so
my only beef with the Ghost Runner that I find comical. It's like, you guys did this because you thought you'd get home and to the hotel quicker. Mm-hmm. Instead, it hasn't worked out that way. You still end up playing for. This game's been going on forever, Kevin. Like, it's been going on like extra innings since we started. It's almost like 45 minutes of this.
I much prefer that being I'll call it baseball purist complaint. Instead of saying the Ghost Runner stinks, it's ruining baseball, I think, look how bad these guys are. They can't even end the game. Like, that's
look
what
at this.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God.
Oh, great catch. Great catch.
Yeah, like, I thought the game was over, bro. I thought the game was over, Kevin. The crowd did, too. I got a sound out, but everybody in the crowd stood up. Everyone, like, the Padre players were all like, but he smoked it. It looked like a home run at first. I was like, no, it's not a home run. Then it was like the right fielder has no idea where the ball is. It's sunny out. This is not going to end well. Look at this catch. That's like Savannah banana crap. Like, Kevin, he was literally sideways, like, and jumped up, put his glove up.
That's incredible.
Like,
that is
if
incredible.
Milwaukee win this game still, but it just flipped. Milwaukee just went from minus 210 to plus 100 just like that.
All right, move some things around here a little bit.
Yeah. So the plus monies just go back and forth. It's fascinating to watch how it changes. But, like, that was a crazy catch in right field.
That kid Lara's, he's going to be around for a while.
In the blazing sun, too. Not easy. Because it's hard. Like, you can tell the shadows in the sun, Kevin. These day games in California are not easy. You can see, too, part of the field is shadows. The rest, like home plate. Oh, my God. Pass ball. Catcher drops the ball, goes to the backstop.
And he gets to get. Oh, he doesn't. He's not.
Runner goes from first to second now. Yeah, now he's in scoring position.
Yeah, but Gabe, he stole and he slid head first into second. If he had his eyes
did he steal? I didn't even notice he stole then too. Yeah.
Yeah. He might have got himself one.
I just saw the ball go through.
Yeah.
Right now he's probably hurt. You know how hard that dirt is too? It's not fun. Like these guys sliding. It's really one thing I've never understood, that they can't make it sand. So it's like there's, you know what I mean? But it's like clay. I made a big mistake. I played in a media game against the Expos. The Expos alumni, one of those type of things.
This is already a great story. This is
that's
one of those 5 words in, it's a great story.
That was fun. Yeah. And get this too, Kevin, like a lot of people in the media had big mouths and the players didn't like them and stuff. There were a couple of guys, the players like me and stuff, so they're grooving me pitches. I smoked one to center field, but it was an aluminum bat. Like, I murdered the ball. But I made a big mistake of sliding in the home plate, and I didn't have to do it. I did it just to be a jackass at a big league stadium. Like, I came flying in. Ripped my pants, my knees shredded to crap. It was all like, it's like hard clay.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was. That's why you'll see guys in real games, like, you'll wonder, why are they going out in the middle of a game? Oh, what just happened? You just lost? Did they score? Yeah, there we go.
Gabe, could you see this? I don't understand.
I looked up. No, what happened?
It was a base hit to the kid who made an incredible catch, Lara. He threw it on a rope, but I don't know if it was like too high. Like the catcher wasn't in position to place the tag. Also, what
Let me
was
see the replay.
Santella doing out there? Why was why
San Diego? I knew San Diego was going to win. They're going to find a way. This team right now, like they're just hot.
That's not a good time, people. That's not
shaky defense at the end of the game. All right, here it is. Let me see.
Oh. Back on SportsGrid, it is in-game live. Kevin Walsh, Gabriel Morency. We have just seen the end of a fun little extra inning game between the Padres and the Brewers. Great result here for San Diego, who stayed red hot. That's going to be their 5th win in a row. They've pulled past the Arizona Diamondbacks when we talk about the wild card race, as well as the Philadelphia Phillies, and have actually positioned themselves as that second wild card team. Still a lot of distance between them and the Chicago Cubs. We've got a few baseball games off, but we're about to tip between Dallas and Toronto in the WNBA. So I want to just run through picks here. I like the tempo plus the 9.5. An injured Wings team playing bad basketball, I think, are laying just too many points here. Give me Toronto. Maybe they surprise people tonight here. I'm not sure they win it. I think they cover, though, so give me the tempo, Gabe.
I got to tell you, earlier in the day, I was almost thinking this might just be one of these money line parlay days in the WNBA, right? Golden State wins tonight. Minnesota is really good on the road. They're going to win tonight. And Dallas aren't going to lose to the Tempo, are they? And then as Kevin brought up, the injuries to the Wings, they're not playing great basketball. You're asking them to win by double digits against a Toronto team that they do show up, right? Like, they're not great defensively, but they'll shoot and they won't quit. Kiki Rice has provided some energy. She's back playing more minutes right now. So I agree. I'm going to go with the tempo plus the points. But rebounding tonight, Kevin, I was thinking, all right, someone's got to rebound for the Dallas Wings tonight. And Alana Smith, she's pretty consistent, even with Shepherd on the floor, that gets like double-digit rebounds. Right? If you look at Alana Smith's rebounding props, So it's 7.5 at plus 105 tonight. She had 8 in the last game, 6 in the game before, 11 in the game before that. But you have a shorthanded team tonight. You have a tempo team that heaves a lot of threes up. And they don't hit all of them. There's going to be a lot of rebounding opportunities. And Collier's another one, Kevin, that kind of quietly goes over a rebound prop all the time now. So
yeah,
we'll take a look at that later. But I like Alana Smith, guys. Dallas Wings over 7.5 rebounds, plus 105. Give me the tempo plus the 9.5 in the game. And let's go over the number in the basketball game as well.
Just to
over
reiterate,
183.5, 83.5.
You know, without Jessica Shepard, they're going to need Alana Smith to rebound. I was even considering Paige's rebounds prop here. I love betting basketball games when a star-ish player is missing.
Paige is another one. Sorry, Kevin. It's been a good rebound because her number's always 3.5. What is it? It's 4.5 tonight. See, they raised it a little bit. She had 4 in the last game.
Now,
exactly.
The reason I
and
didn't
they're desperate.
run,
she needs the ball tonight and do everything.
The only reason I didn't run to those bets is because it's the very first game Shepard is missing all season, to where it's tempting, but we don't have a great sample size. We don't have any sample size of what it looks like.
What about points and rebounds for Paige then tonight? Because she doesn't have a lot of people to pass the ball to, right? She's got Enrique.
25.5.
Paige, it's 27.5.
Yeah.
Points, rebounds, a little high.
Little high.
Because she probably gets 19 type points. I don't know, she get 22 or something.
You're going to want her to really carry. At that point, what's the points prop? 22.5? 23.5?
Yeah, it's high 27.5. Like, Kevin, like, I'd do 27.5 if it was points, rebounds, and assists. I'd be all in. Right?
Yeah,
it's like, whoa, only 2 of them, and I got to get 28? Yeah. That's a lot. That's how much respect she gets, but everybody's out. Right, for Dallas, which that was my thing where I was like, yeah, forget about, like, Dallas on the money line. The tempo can, like, cover this game. And then I realized they could actually win this game potentially. This might be the one that they actually steal, right? I mean, you think, it can't be Dow, Paige Beckers, whatever. It's not Dallas. They don't have Fudd. They don't have Shepard. And the last team that the tempo beat were the New York Liberty. Right? So they it doesn't really matter, they can't beat this team. Yeah, they can. If they show up and they score, they can beat anyone because the tempo will hang 85-90 on you. So you better score when you play them.
Yeah. I completely agree. That's why I decided to keep it a little bit simple and just play the spread here. That's what I was, pretty confident in, just lining these two teams up tonight. I think it's a Dallas team that's hit a wall. I actually thought of all the Wings props that were the most interesting was Enrique. Trying to go over her points. Does she just get an increased workload here tonight? In this environment, Gabe, right? There's going to be a stretch where her and Marine are firing 35-foot threes, back and forth. But again, the problem is nothing comes cheap in a tempo game because these totals are so high. It's just always big and a half. It's a big number.
She never goes over when I take her.
I think she scored 5 in each of her last 2 games.
Exactly. 5 and 5, 15 and 15 before that. So she scored 20 once, but she's gone over this number once. The number is what it is because there's 2 starters out for them and they're playing a bad defensive team. Right? I'm not ready to do it.
It's a real
Sabally,
tax.
I've been going back to the window with Sabally a lot. She finally went under the other night, but she got to 12 and it was 13.5. I almost feel like, she's got to hit a wall. She can't be that consistent. Kiki Rice scored 16 the other night. She's been pretty good. Mabry's at 19.5 tonight. She had 36 in the last game. Mabry's number is 25, 16. She's all over the place. 25, 16, 12, 9, 36.
She's just so up and down. She's so up and down. The one thing we haven't talked about tonight, guys.
Hey, we're getting excited as tempo fans. Juju Watkins. Let's go. That's the future of the tempo. Let's rock it. Kiki Rice and Juju Watkins. Not a bad. Get Mabry in there. Not a bad little building block. Kiki Rice and Juju Watkins would be a nice building block. Little foundation.
Let's pull up an early WNBA mock draft. Let's see who. I know Hannah Hidalgo's up there.
Yeah.
Madison Booker from Texas, big time scorer.
She's the one that I see a lot, for the tempo related. The Booker. Yeah.
I think you're pretty happy with one of those top 3, though, Gabe. I think
Dago's a stud too. She's really good. And then you got Juju Watkins, who's a potential like mega superstar.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. That's
why for the tempo, do you really want to win? You know what I mean? You probably want to get that number one pick right now.
You certainly want to be in this range, is what I would say, right? Like this is where you want to be.
And we've seen these new girls are so good, right? We've seen Olivia Miles come in here and just light it up right away. Like these new crop, like people wonder, oh, where are the stars? Like now, like the college girls are better now than they were 5 years ago, right? It's sort of this, it's exponentially getting faster, better, quicker, etc. So like the next, out of this next wave of girls coming in, a few of them are going to be mega superstars and scoring 1 million points a game as well. But we got a couple more WNBA games tonight, and I brought up Collier there, Kevin, and she's up to 30 minutes a game right now since she's come back. Right. Mm-hmm. So remember, the first couple of games, she played 18 minutes, 20 minutes. So it's up to 30. Like she's back right now. Starting to get into a groove a little bit more, but she's had 8 or more rebounds in 4 straight games, if not more, since she's come back. Even in her limited number, in limited minutes.
That consistency. I noticed it myself. Like she's really, really found that consistency. But she's another one. I think one of the issues sometimes, Gabe, going into these Lynx games is the worry about the blowout. Do you get that full minute workload? I mean, they lay big numbers every game. Carla Late's questionable.
And they're like 12 and a half tonight.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, I played the under in this game tonight. I'm taking a chance here. I know they've been playing some high-scoring games, Minnesota, but they can still lock it in defensively. I'm hoping Late's out. I think that'll drop the total here. I don't think Portland can score enough to get this game through a 186.5. Guys, it's a higher total than the tempo game tonight.
One thing I'll say, too, about Collier, she's got 8 rebounds, exactly 8 in 4 straight games. 8. Thing is, most of the games are close. Mm-hmm. Right? So this could be a blowout.
Yep. All right, guys, here on SportsGrid, and a couple of score updates. Major League Baseball, the Red Sox even it up at 1 apiece. Wilson Contreras sends one out, so that's now 1-1. But how about over here in the Bronx, a 2-out double by Spencer Jones makes this baseball game 4-3 all of a sudden. Gabe, I'm sure this has happened to you before doing as many in-game lives
before, which is pretty good. We talked about it, but they were right there.
But this is, I'm sure this has happened to you where someone will send you a message, hey, great call on the Yankees live, where you're like, I didn't bet the Yankees live. I know I talked about it, but I'm good for you, but I didn't bet the Yankees live. We saw what total looks a little light live. Yankees look a little light here. And next thing you know, I mean, the Yankees are a base hit away here, Gabe, from going back to favorites in this baseball game.
Yeah, it's plus 100 right now. 3-run deficit is not that much in modern baseball. Especially we were talking, it was the second inning only, right? It wasn't like, oh, I had a plus 260, but it's the 8th inning right now. And they only have 6 at-bats left, etc. No. So it was so early in the baseball game. Anyone who watches these Dodger games, you see it goes back and forth like all night until like the last inning.
They bothered me last night. Ruined
yeah,
my
it's
under.
been a run line frustration. And I guess total bettors as well. It's been 2 games in a row where the Dodgers get the lead. They could pull away and stuff, and it looks like, they're going to cover the run line, and then they don't, and then there's drama for them to win the game. I actually think tonight is the night. It's a bullpen game for Kansas City tonight. And Lauer's actually been good for the Dodgers, so I think tonight is the night the Dodgers do finally cover a run line. But we talk about listen, baseball is a grind. The season is a grind, but as we see you follow along with us, we're pointing out there's a lot of big plus money opportunities. Right? And it's a leap of faith. I get it. Not only if it has like the bankroll, I'm going to take every team that's down all the time. Not every team comes back, but talking about the Yankees down 3 runs in the second inning only at plus 260. Now they're plus 100 right now. Right? So things change in a hurry.
Big move. It's a really, really big move. Gabe, I wanted to bring up,
Kevin. Sorry, just going to say 6-2. Marlins beating up on the Pirates.
Marlins team's hanging around. But I just quickly, Gabe, speaking of Miami, in Miami tonight, the Messi stuff is super unfortunate. For anybody who maybe does not know, his father just passed away. And it's really tough to know. I think he's actually like on the bench for this game. I don't know if he's going to play. If he does, that obviously be nice to see. But it's
I don't think they care about this. They lost. Right? Like they only 4 teams. Right? Yeah, so only 4 teams out of the 18 actually move on. So do they really want to go all out here? Like the Whitecaps last night called up and played the Vancouver 2 team. They had 4 like teenagers playing last night. They sent them to Mexico. And of course those kids end up tying the damn game. The one time I bet against the Whitecaps, Kevin. Can't make it up. I'm like, the Whitecaps are starting a bunch of 18-year-olds on the Whitecaps youth development team.
Yep.
Right? I'm like, it's meaningless to them. They have to go to Monterrey, Mexico, and the players kind of look like it was a vacation. They're all smiles going. I saw they did a video and stuff, but they ended up tying the game 1-1. But this League's Cup is weird, man. Like, once teams are out, or, you know what I mean? You don't know what they're going to do. And as you said, so Messi's father passes away. And for the record, just officially, he is not in the starting lineup, but he is available to play technically.
I think we would agree on this, though, Gabe, with the League's Cup. I know the MLS didn't maybe hit the ground running coming out of the World Cup, but you know what they definitely didn't need? 2-3 random weeks of action that wasn't actually MLS. Where it's like, oh, you want to bet on the MLS teams? Yeah, well, you got to actually find a way to figure out how to cap the Mexican Soccer League. Like,
or get people to go to the games, because now all the games are like these weeknight games that are empty. The stadiums are empty.
And let's call it what it is.
I went to Vancouver Whitecaps LAFC, and there was like 42,000 people. There's been 2 League Cup games in Vancouver since. There's been 13,000, 15, 16 type thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's empty. Like, nobody cares. Like, the fans don't even care. Like, what are we doing? Like, you want to promote your league, but your league isn't playing. And it's not like you think the Mexicans are super excited about busting up their Mexican league? They'd rather watch Club America play Cruz Azul than the Columbus freaking Crew.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So you're pissing them off too right now. They're like, God, what are we doing? Like, they should have said, listen, this Leagues Cup thing it's too much, because they also have a CONCACAF Cup, Kevin. It's like, it's too much, right?
There's an international break that's coming up in like October or something like that, or September.
Yeah, and then it pauses again, and you lose your momentum. But they really, a good commissioner, God forbid, but the Garber guy was not good, should have said, like, listen, and even Mexico would have agreed. This is a World Cup year. You guys are hosting the World Cup. We're hosting the World Cup. Let's ditch the Leagues Cup this year and come out hot running right after the World Cup with our domestic leagues. Right? Come down and see the U.S. players that were on. Come see them live. Now it's like, oh, no, he's not playing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it's
like, now it's like, and it's like, all right, I'm supposed to get into this. And then it comes back, Kevin, and then the NFL starts. And then they have the break.
But I was going to say, Gabe, a week from Friday, the Premier League starts. If you want to bet soccer, you're betting Arsenal. You're betting Manchester
and even
City.
in North
You're
American media now, we're going to talk about that more. Like,
they are.
Like EPL on NBC. EPL on NBC gets higher ratings than MLS does on Fox. Right?
100%.
Erling Haaland's a bigger star like in America now than anyone in MLS is. And obviously that's like to say, like, obviously there's a million big soccer stars that are bigger than anyone in MLS, but like just from an American TV standpoint and stuff. Like if I was an American brand, I would have already signed him, Kevin, like Tide or whatever. I am Erling Haaland. I clean my soccer jersey with Tide. Like, he's that popular in America now. Like, they can ride that, and NBC will. I got to tell you, you like that? I'm Erling Haaland. I clean my soccer jersey with Tide.
I do like that. I do. I think you should start writing commercials. That's great. We'll be right back, guys. Good break. Back with you guys right here on In-Game Live. And we tomorrow, guys, are live from 7 to 10 covering your preseason action, the official start of preseason. We got some news for the Saturday preseason slate, Gabe, that Deshaun Watson will start that game. But I almost feel like, and not that it's surprising, but the news to me is less Watson is starting and more this is a clear-cut battle between Watson and Sanders, and this Browns job is really, truly up for grabs.
It is, and this, it's an ideal preseason situation to be in. And a couple of tidbits and notes, actually, as far as the preseason is concerned, because I see a lot of this right now, and we'll get a head start on this, and I'm glad that we're going to be on tomorrow night for all this. Can't wait. 7 o'clock, too, so we come on at 7, and I tell you what, we have the Detroit Lions and the Cincinnati Bengals at 7. We have the Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers at 7. With the Colts and Patriots at 7:30. Really curious, Kevin, about, we'll get our first look at Mendoza. We'll get another look at Carson Beck, Arizona, and the Raiders tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern. Houston Texans and the Chargers, but just a couple of, news, tidbits and notes. So I think one of the biggest misconceptions and overreactions in the preseason is, they're starting their starters. Nothing in a similar situation, Kevin, as we just talked about, that you just did and you blindly bet the team at plus 350. I like nothing better than taking the other team against the team that, quote unquote, starting their starters. All right? So what does starting their starters mean? A drive or two? A possession?
Yeah.
Right? And people the point spreads, there's these massive overreactions, and somehow people think that what do you really think Joe Burrow is playing because Zach Taylor said, yeah, we're going to play our regulars more in the preseason now? They're 6.5-point favorites. They're 6.5-point favorites. And the Detroit Lions, we're getting Joshua Dobbs, right? It's not going to be Jared Goff. So we're getting Joshua Dobbs, who's a very serviceable quarterback. And I like Luke Altmaier. So to me, Kevin, and I know you know college football, so it's sort of this, how do you feel about the quarterbacks in the second half? So I personally like Luke Altmaier. I think he'll be fine for getting 6.5 there. Good example, Aaron Rodgers isn't playing tomorrow, and McCarthy did tip his hand, which I liked. He said that the starters will play a series or two, and then the second stringers will play the rest of the half, and then the second half will be everybody else. So what that means is Mason Rudolph gets a series or two tomorrow. Will Howard gets the rest of the first half, and Drew Aller. So how do you feel about how do you feel about having your money on Drew Aller in the second half tomorrow against the Packers? You like that or you don't? Right, that's what a lot of this stuff comes down to.
I don't hate it, but I guess my question, Gabe, is how much football is Tyrod Taylor playing that Green Bay are favorites in this game? Because a Rodgers-Mason Rudolph half, I don't imagine Jordan Love's playing a ton of action here.
A Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, Drew Aller preseason combo is a pretty damn good preseason NFL combo to have.
Absolutely. So again, that's where I'm a little
on a Packer team that's always fragile and a little injured to begin with. I know Matt LaFleur is not going to be in some excited mood to send any statement tomorrow. We need to win this game.
Silly, but is 37-year-old Tyrod Taylor being told, hey, yeah, do me a favor, buddy, go out there and play a half of preseason? That sounds ridiculous.
No. And like you said, you and I have talked about last week with Pickett, Taylor's the backup quarterback. They know this. And they can't afford to get him hurt either. They can't afford to get him hurt. He's the backup.
Yeah.
So, I like the Steelers tomorrow in this spot personally. And they're at home. McCarthy's first game in Pittsburgh. Drew Aller, a guy that kind of underachieved in college a little bit, but oftentimes, we saw, he's very similar to Carson Beck, actually, too. Right? And just sort of, he might be one of these dudes that was wow, he looks a lot better now than he did at Penn State. Right? I'm not ready to write him off. He is a physical specimen. He's got a cannon for an arm and all that. So I'm just throwing it out there, that situation. Mendoza, we'll get a look at Mendoza tomorrow with the Raiders as well, and Arizona playing in their second game, which I got to dig into, Kevin, because oftentimes the teams that play in a Hall of Fame game really mail it in this game, the next one.
Oh, interesting. All right, we'll talk a little bit more about this, guys, after the break. So we're back with you guys right here on SportsGrid, and we're talking a little bit about some of the action we're going to get tomorrow. We'll get back to Raiders-Cardinals in a second. I just have to say, with Indianapolis and New England, and I'm sure people would be willing to fade him, but shouldn't Anthony Richardson play a full half of this game tomorrow for the Colts? Daniel Jones, I don't know this for a fact, but if Daniel Jones is playing, that's insane. We're not sure if he's playing week 1, so that's not a thing. I know they like Riley Leonard. You should give him some time. Easton Stick's been in the league longer than maybe people realize. Like, his first career pass attempt came in 2020. So it's not like you need to get him work, right? I just, again, people might say, oh, if Anthony Richardson's playing a half of football, I want to fade him. But I truly believe, Gabe, that Anthony Richardson should be out there tomorrow playing a full half of football for the Colts.
I saw something about him playing tight end, right? And, they were going to work him out.
A lot of confidence.
No, it doesn't. And I don't think that Steichen likes him, personally, right? I think, I mean, how much is he really going to play tomorrow? It's a good question.
It does say he's going to start, just based on what I'm seeing online here.
You know what, though? He is kind of a type of guy you want in a preseason game. He can literally just run people over.
Yeah.
You saw Haynes King when things break down, right? Listen, it's rare to do what Carson Beck did. It's really rare. And I got to tell you, too, and I don't want to overreact over a game or anything like that, but I've been seeing a lot of the videos, Kevin, and the clips from the Cardinals camp and stuff, and he's throwing dimes, bro. Like, he really is. Like, he looks like a first-round quarterback. Like, he looks like, this kid's a franchise quarterback. Like, he really is looking good. Like, I'm curious to see. I haven't dug in all the games yet tomorrow and stuff. I've sort of been soaking up the announcements of, all right, who's going to play and who isn't. I haven't dug into the Colt one yet. Like I said, I knew about the Steelers. I want to throw it out there. Robert Salah is back in the league. He's really good in the preseason, right? And so Tennessee, and he's going to want to get the Titans going, and he's going up against a team he was a defensive coordinator of in San Francisco, who have a million injuries, and I can't imagine super care about this preseason game. But the Tennessee Titans, Robert Salah, guys, 10-2-1. 10-2-1 against the spread in the preseason. Very impressive.
I mean, that's a great preseason quarterback room, by the way, in Tennessee.
It is.
Cam Ward, why not let him play a little? Mitch Trubisky, who would be the best quarterback they probably put on the field. Will Levis, sure, why not? Million starts. And I've always, liked Hendon Hooker. Hendon Hooker made me, a good chunk of change back when he was playing.
Very good preseason room. Very good preseason room with an intense coach in Salah. He's going to want to change the culture, right? Like I said, too, the
Jones
Jets
playing?
Before. Guy went 10-2. Guy went 10-2 with the Jets, guys, against the spread. Pretty impressive.
Mac Jones, I'm laughing. I don't know if you ever seen Mac Jones's profile photo on ESPN. Like, I guess he took a new one coming into the season. Like, he clearly got his teeth whitened. I think he put spray tan on. I'm not kidding. Like, he did his hair all up. Like, Mac Jones becoming a character. Yeah.
He's gone California.
I actually appreciate it a little bit. Like, it's so silly. You can only you just have to chuckle a little.
California gets to everyone, even Mac Jones, even the kid from the South. even the kid from the South. But listen, they need to be careful with him, too. You don't want to get Mac Jones hurt. I'm telling you what, it's a new thing, right? It used to be, we'll play the backup quarterback in the preseason. Now backup quarterbacks are such at a premium, and there's no backup to the backup quarterbacks anymore, right? Like, if you lose, your two guys, you're screwed. It's not like $1 million, we can sign this guy or bring this guy back. Doesn't really work that way. So I think teams are very reluctant to want to expose their backup quarterback to get them hurt, because then they got the same problem almost if their starter is hurt. So I think the 49ers are going to get a heavy dose of Curtis Rourke, whose brother is the BC Lion quarterback, Nate Rourke, right? Who's the highest paid player in the CFL. His brother Curtis is actually bigger, better than Nate is, right? Like, Nate was good enough to play for the Ohio Bobcats. And Nate won 4 bowls in a row, actually. He was he's a winner, so he was good and stuff. But, Curtis Rourke also played for the Ohio Bobcats. But transferred to where, Kevin? Indiana. He was the one that sort of got that thing started, right? And then they brought Mendoza in the following year. So, Curtis Rourke, had that. He's got, big-time teams like him. Shanahan likes him. He's hung on for a couple of years now as the third-string quarterback in San Francisco, as opposed to being a starting quarterback in the CFL. But he makes the league minimum, or a little bit more, in the NFL, which is about, I think he makes $1.2 million a year. The highest-paid guy in the CFL is $750K right now. So he's making $250K more, or $500K more, and he's close to the NFL pension. Once you're in the league for 4 years, you get that NFL pension for life. So he's close. So my point is, he's going to be on the field, and you got our boy Adrian Martinez, K-State, Nebraska, for San Francisco.
When we used to do the college show, Ben would always laugh at me. It's the Irish in me. I used to call him Curtis O'Rourke. I just slapped the O apostrophe on his name. I would just slap the O apostrophe on there all the time. So
Canadian kid. Only Canadian. Was the only Canadian quarterback, in the CFL. There's a lot of Canadian dudes in the CFL, but he's the only quarterback.
So, that's an interesting spot. Here's the thing, though, Gabe, right? Kind of what we're talking about.
The book is on 5.5.
Yes,
Tennessee.
Great Tennessee. We're laying a big number.
Yeah, that's the thing. You got to get it. You sort of have to get a head start on it. Here's another one, though, guys. I'm surprised that Jim Harbaugh is 13-10 in the preseason. We know that John won all the games in Baltimore. Jim, like, doesn't really care. So I think he's like 13-10 by default or something, right? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I don't really care, but I happen to be 13-10. And D'Amico Ryans does care. Like the Texans, there's a pattern to it. Like once you get to a certain sample size, you can say, yeah, it's not by accident, right? That a guy like put it this way, Dan Quinn, guys, is 7-20. He's 7-19-1 again, straight up. 7-19-1. Excuse me. He's 7-20 straight up. 7-19-1 against the spread. So, Kevin, you don't be a coach in the NFL that long. 27 preseason games, essentially like 7 seasons of football, 7 seasons of being a coach. You don't go 7-20 by accident. He clearly doesn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not his. He doesn't care. But then you look, and I see, like, all right, Robert Saleh, 13 games, 10-2-1, seems to care. It's not kind of an accident, right? Like, Mike McCarthy's 31-32. Sort of shows, whatever happens, happens.
Hire. Perfect hire, man. Perfect hire.
McVay is, what's just for the Steelers? It's got 9-8 written all over it.
It's ridiculous.
Sean McVay really doesn't care. And in fact, if you guys remember last year, he let his assistants coach the preseason games.
McVay makes a mockery of it.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to give a guy a chance. It's like, they're not giving him a chance. You just don't want to do it. Like, you don't want. It's beneath you to stand on the sidelines for 3.5 hours in a preseason game.
Yeah, like he's there, but it is interesting, right? Like, I don't know. I guess it's fine. Whatever. It's a good. Everyone's getting reps, but the McVay's been very clear he doesn't believe in preseason. By the way, we didn't talk, Gabe, and maybe we will after the break. Oh, by the way, Puka Nacua maybe going to be suspended for the Australia game.
Yeah.
It's a big deal, guys. Josh Jacobs, by the way.
I think he really did bite that woman for real.
Right back here on Sports Grid, we were just kind of quickly mentioning, hey, this world where Puka Nacua gets suspended for the opening game of the NFL season. There's some questions about Josh Jacobs being suspended for the opening game of the NFL season. Do I think Puka Nacua is going to move, the 3.5 down to 2.5? No. Maybe 3.5 to 3. It's possible. It's going to move prop markets a ton when a guy like Puka Nacua is out. It's also, I think what's difficult is it's going to be a 1-game suspension, 2-game suspension, 4. I think that's where a lot of the questions kind of come in, Gabe, for a team with the Rams more than the Jacobs Green Bay situation. The Rams with the expectations that they have. This is a team that people think can win not just a division, a team that can win 15 games and roll to a Super Bowl in their home stadium.
With a massive amount of pressure on them, with the biggest target of, it's somehow the Seattle Seahawks are the defending champions, and I think it's almost to their advantage, Kevin. If you were Seattle, and McDonald is good at this, and Seattle are good at this as well, because the Pacific Northwest is kind of buried. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's its own world in its own way. So Seattle, like last year, Seattle never got any respect, right? Until the Super Bowl, basically. But people don't really would believe in Seattle. Seattle are damn good. They're the defending Super Bowl champions, and all anybody talks about are the Rams. And you don't think the San Francisco 49ers would like nothing more than to punch the Rams in the mouth, Kevin, in the first game of the year and say, yeah, here's your hype. Like, you're 0-1, bitches. Here's your hype. Have a nice flight home. Like,
and shouting at Owens McVay regular season, recent history.
We talked about it too. Rams nearly lost to the Carolina Panthers in the playoffs last year, okay? Mm-hmm. The Carolina Panthers, had them on the damn ropes. Bears. Like, if they didn't throw, like, a Bryce Young threw whatever, pick or whatever, like they were moving the ball on them, like at midfield. It was like, oh, God, here come the Panthers. The Rams are about to get knocked out. The Bears had them on the ropes. Like, people are talking about this Ram team coming in, and I'm not really pro San Francisco, Kevin. But I'll tell you what, San Francisco guys, to me, they're like a dangerous MMA fighter that gas out as the fight goes on. Because San Francisco are good. They just get hurt as the year goes on. They're more dangerous in week 1, right? Like if Kittle, everyone's there, you got McCaffrey, you got Kittle, you got Purdy, and they're locked and loaded and ready to go. I got to take the points in this game, Kevin. I got to take the points. And the Rams are going to be overpriced, like sort of like the LeBron factor. Whatever, dude. The Rams have become the Dodgers. They really have. Like, they're the new Dodgers, whatever, of sports now.
I as of today, Gabe, I want to play the over in that game.
But they're a double favorite to win the Super Bowl over anyone else.
Yeah, no, it's a big number, man. That Myles Garrett stuff really. And look, they were the favorites already. When they
but as I stated, Jared Verse was good, guys. It's not like they didn't have a pass rush before.
Listen, I agree. I think the Browns, you want to get crazy. I think the Browns can sneak into the playoffs this year. I'll be honest with you. There's always a surprise team. That defense is good in Cleveland. That defense is good. We'll do our playoff teams, division predictions, Super Bowl picks.
Because of Monken, but I've always said this for years.
I kind of like
No,
Monken.
I'm not. No, but the thing is, I've said this for years about Cleveland. On paper, they're good. Like, they have a lot of talent, that football team. That's why I don't really understand, like, Stefanski, now he has talent. What do you mean now he has talent in Atlanta? Look at Cleveland. Like, guy had, like, 1 million first-round picks on this team. Like, they have a lot of really good football players on the Cleveland Browns. Stefanski couldn't string it together. Maybe I'm wrong about Monken. I don't believe in him. We'll find out. I kind of am sort of buying in. Maybe it's my Michigan bias about Minter and Baltimore a little bit. I'm thinking, you know what? Minter's just going to keep this thing simple. He's going to run the freaking ball down your throat with Derrick Henry. He's going to run some play action with Lamar. And I think simplifying things and not asking Lamar to do things that he shouldn't do are going to help, actually. The defense is going to be good with Baltimore and Minter. He's an offensive guru. Like I said, I know there's not some hot take saying I think that Baltimore could be good. People always think they're going to be good, but I'm normally anti-Raven. But as far as like a new coach, I like Minter more than I like Monken.
It's interesting. My issue.
What did Monken do to impress you with that Baltimore offense ever?
I think they had their postseason obvious, downfalls. I'm not going to say that they didn't, but I mean, Lamar Jackson obviously has also hit some incredible highs. And I will admit this though, Gabe, me being in on Cleveland is less, I think this offense is going to be magical.
Okay.
I think they got a good defense with a better offensive line. And I think they're going to be able to surprise some people.
I almost look at it like this. Remember you and I talked about, what was the guy's name? He got the job. Where did he get hired? The San Antonio coach? Remember the defensive guy? They're like, he's a great defensive coach.
Yeah.
Who hired him?
Who the hell? Sean Sweeney.
Okay,
Sean Sweeney, the Spurs defensive coordinator.
Yeah, the guy's a great defensive coach, defensive coordinator for the San Antonio Spurs. I'm like, what, the Spurs with Victor Wembanyama? Right? Like, sort of like, yeah, I would have a good defense too. Like, right? So I'm like, all right. So I almost want to say, it's like, well, Tom Munkin, I'm like, well, you didn't win, and you had Lamar Jackson. So now what? You're going to win with Shedeur Sanders, but you couldn't win with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry? But I'm going to trust you to run this offense now? I don't buy in. And it's too bad almost because I'm actually a Shedeur guy. I know Shedeur got a bad deal with the draft and all that. I don't know what the hell happened with that. And they do have talent. But that division, right? You got Cincinnati, you got Baltimore, you got Pittsburgh. I mean, Cleveland. Are Cleveland on level with Pittsburgh? Will you give them that? So you believe they're on the level of the Steelers? They could be better than the Steelers?
I do. I really don't like this Pittsburgh team. I think that defense is old. I think they're going to miss Mike Tomlin. I think Rodgers is old. I'd be surprised if Rodgers lasts the whole season. Thinking Rodgers is old isn't an opinion. It's a fact. But I'm just, I think Rodgers is kind of being given a pass. Rodgers, people like, the Steelers' offensive line's pretty good. Look at the pressure rate. It's because Rodgers gets rid of the ball in a second. He refuses to get hit. He's not, I'm sorry, he's not a real quarterback anymore, Aaron Rodgers. He really should not still be going. I know, look, he's an all-time great, first ballot Hall of Famer, but sometimes that's it. That's it. Okay, guys, let's close this thing out here. Great to be with everybody on a Wednesday night. Flew by. Just a reminder, tomorrow, 7 p.m., same start time, bonus hour, preseason coverage. Really excited about it. I genuinely enjoy betting preseason NFL. I think it's fun. I think it's a good challenge. I think there's value. And you all know Gabe is obviously going to be in the mix in every single one. I wouldn't be surprised if he side total on every single one of these NFL games.
Yeah, besides that Colts-Patriot game, you brought it up. I don't like either team, I think, subconsciously. So, nothing against the Colts, really, but the Patriots, I'm like, I was like, I don't like. But yeah, I can't wait, Kev. We're going to be on 3 hours. Yeah, it's not the week one regular season, but I'll tell you what, this is the first time. Last week we had one game, and it was great. We had a CFL tomorrow, big CFL game tomorrow, too. We had last week, both games were great. But tomorrow night, we got like 6 games. So, yeah, a lot of live in-game betting opportunities tomorrow, Kevin. Can't wait to see how it plays out and what we end up on, and we're going to end up winning tomorrow night.
Cannot wait, man. Let's try and win tonight here with the remainder of this slate. The only pick, actually, that I have left is this Minnesota-Portland game. I played an under 186.5. These teams met about a month ago. It was 174.5. Now, I'm well aware that this is a higher scoring league. Minnesota's offense with feedback are on fire, but defensively they can step up. Taylor McBride off scoring 43. Maybe that offense comes down a little bit here for Minnesota. I wouldn't be stunned if this goes way under, quite frankly. I'm on under tonight here, Gabe, with the Minnesota and Portland game at a 186.5 price.
I'm going to play a little West Coast baseball here before we get to the WNBA. The Dodgers have won both games in a row against Kansas City. They're going to end up, they won't beat a wild card, as Dave Roberts is talking about. They're going to start to string some wins together. Can they cover a damn run line? I guess that's the question. We're going to find out. Lauer's been a lot better obviously with the Dodgers than he was with the Blue Jays. Bullpen game tonight for the Royals. Let's lay the run and a half for the Dodgers at minus 105. And the Rangers and Angels, man, a lot of unders, like with both these teams. I've kind of left it on the table. I've talked a little bit about the Rangers going under all the time, but they go under all the time. Let's go under 9. I just think this total is too high tonight. As far as the WNBA is concerned, let's go with Collier over 7.5 rebounds and Hayes over 8.5 points.
All right. Puts us on the board for the rest of, again, tonight's slate. And I think we're leaving here with a little Trent Grisham home run action. So hopefully the Yankees can kind of pull this together. They're not out of this thing. Yeah. They're not out of this one here. Mets pulled it back to 3-2 now against Atlanta. Guardians might get a much needed victory against Detroit. Not pulling away for the Tigers, but like they comfortably have the better record between those two teams. Cubs keep rolling. The Nationals are in free fall with the James Wood injury. Their pitching's not up to par here. White Sox could use a win tonight against the Reds as well, Gabe. They're up 1-0.
Yeah, we got a lot of runs being scored in Washington right now. In-game total, 17.5. 17.5. And as far as the tempo and wings, Kevin, have just gotten to the half right now. Tempo and wings, 45-37, so it's off the pace. 175.5 is the total right now. We've seen the tempo get blown out in the second halves of games, but I've been watching this game, and I don't really see a blowout coming, actually. Like, they've been hanging around, and in fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the tempo went on a run in the third quarter. Like, this game was basically back and forth. It was 38-37 or whatnot, and, like, Dallas scored a couple of points. Toronto missed a couple of shots in the last minute and a half, and here we are right now. So I'm not ready to get, too panicked about this, and the very wild, unpredictable Leagues Cup going on right now. But I guess one thing that we know, Kevin, there's always goals in Inter-Miami games. 2-1 Miami right now in the 58th minute.
We were watching that game the other night. What was there, like 5 goals in that opening half of the Leagues Cup, of the Leagues Cup game? Just quickly to your point about the tempo wings game. It's 10.5 right now. It really shouldn't be that. Like, Toronto are down 8, not playing well. That can very, very, very easily be. Like, I understand they can roll, but I wouldn't have made the point spread all that much higher in the way that the books did. So you might get a really nice price here, Gabe, if you kind of agree with Gabe and I. And what a beautiful night. The Yankees tie this baseball game before we get out of here. And
Drama.
if you bet the over 10.5, it's an automatic winner at 5-5. What a game. Gabe, great stuff as always. We'll see all of you tomorrow.
Football tomorrow.
Season. Can't wait.
The show is about to begin.
Dude, that Smiley Kaufman for 61. Wow.